Week 17 of the EIHL is all done. Merry Christmas to all of you, and let's take a look at what happened, the week's top performers and some standings and stats. Week 17 began in Belfast on Wednesday as the Giants hosted the Devils and the home team took the win, 2-0 thanks to goals from Brandon Benedict and Matt Nickerson, and it could have been a lot more but for Ben Bounds, who saved 41 of 42 shots. One other game that night saw the Coventry Blaze record their third win in a row, defeating the Stars 5-1 in Dundee, with Jordan Petrus and Carl Alzon both scoring a brace. Moving on to the weekend, and we had some traditional Boxing Day games, starting with the Steelers hosting the Panthers. Nottingham went a goal up, but goals from Rod Sarich and Robert Dowd were enough to give the hosts a 2-1 win. In Fife, the Flyers hosted the Capitals and were not in the mood for giving, instead taking a 3-0 win after 48 shots, new signing Nico Sacchetti grabbing a couple of assists. Cardiff welcomed the Blaze and took a 7-2 win after Brian Stewart had a rare bad night, letting in 7 from 28 shots, Jake Morissette and Thomas Kirker both scoring twice for the hosts. The last game on Boxing Day saw the Clan travel to the Stars, where they came away with a 4-2 win, Brendan Brooks scoring twice, while Scott Pitt grabbed a helper on all 4 goals. Moving on to Sunday, and there was a full programme of fixtures, starting with the Panthers at home to the Steelers, and this time Nottingham took the spoils, winning 5-3, helped by a couple of goals for David Clark. In Manchester, the Storm defeated the Flyers by 5-1, Vinny Scarzella finishing with 2+2, while Zane Kalemba made an impressive 47 saves. Another Saturday fixture reversed was the Blaze hosting the Devils, and it was a lot closer, going to overtime after finishing 3-3 before Guillaume Doucet scored on the power play to give Cardiff the extra point. The scoreline was the same in Brarehead as the Giants downed the Clan 4-3 after overtime, but not before the home side had scored twice late in the third to grab a point. Finally, in a Scottish derby, the Caps hosted the Stars but went down 6-2, Bobby Shomon and Lou Dickinson both scoring twice for the visitors. With 5 goals in 3 games, Jordan Petrus of the Blaze led the week for goals ahead of 14 players who all scored twice, including Joey Haddad and Thomas Kirker from the Devils. Another Devil, Andrew Hotham, shared the lead for assists on the week, with the Stars' Curtis Lineweber having each played a part in 5 goals ahead of a trio of players who had 4 helpers. Those leaders from goals and assists were enough to lead on points with 5, where they were joined by Scott Pitt from Brarehead and also Haddad. Looking at penalties, there was a clear leader as Devin Didiomet just couldn't choose between a game or match penalty, so he took both, giving him a whopping 47 minutes from 1 game. A match penalty for checking to the head for Justin Fariner on Sunday means the Dundee player is second on this list with 32 minutes. Zane Kalemba only played in 1 game, conceding just once, and this means he leads for goals conceded and goals against, but with a save percentage of just under 98%, it is a lead well earned for the Manchester Storm stopper. Stephen Murphy had a shutout to start the week and finished with a GAA of 1.49, saving almost 94% of shots, while the Devils' Ben Bounds had a very busy 3 games, making 105 saves at a fantastic rate of .946 and keeping his GAA below 2. Position-wise, by the end of the week, not much had changed in the league standings, with the Cardiff Devils still top ahead of the Nottingham Panthers. They are now 5 points clear, however, with the Panthers now having a further game in hand, so they can still go top. The Steelers are third, remaining just a point behind Nottingham, while the Giants remain fourth but have moved level on points with Sheffield and have also played 4 less than Cardiff. The Stars, Clan and Flyers remained in 5th to 7th, but below them the Blaze climbed above the Capitals, with the latter suffering from a run of 7 straight defeats. The Storm remain bottom but can go above the Caps if they win their games in hand. With regards to the top 4 in the EIHL Conference, there's really not much to report as they stayed in the same positions, and the points differences are largely unchanged. The Blaze at the bottom, however, are now looking further adrift as their games in hand can only tie them with Belfast if they win both. The top 3 in the Gardner are also the same, but the Clan are now in a position where they could be top once they have played the same number of games as the Stars, while below them the Storm have gone above the struggling Capitals. The Challenge Cup quarter-final dates have now all been announced, though you could be forgiven for missing it, and here they are. The Flyers and Steelers will play Leg 1 in Fife on January 12th before returning to Sheffield on the 20th. The Stars host the Devils on the 13th and finish off in Cardiff on the 27th. On the 20th, the Storm will welcome the Giants before playing the second leg 6 days later. And finally, the Panthers host the Clan on January 20th and then play the second leg in Brarehead January 27th. The Devils didn't miss a beat against the Blaze at home, meaning they hold on to the best home record, while Sheffield's home win over the Panthers has moved them on to 1.7 points a game at the House of Steel and Sheffield. It's less positive for the Dundee Stars, who had a couple of home defeats last week, which dropped them down a couple of places. Their win over the Clan has pushed the Giants onto almost 1.5 points a game away from the SSE Arena, comfortably the best away record in the EIHL. The Clan and Steelers have swapped places in 3rd and 4th after the Clan grabbed an away win while Sheffield lost down in Nottingham. The Blaze still have the worst away record, but their win over the Stars moved them onto 0.4 points a game, which is level with the Flyers and Capitals, the latter having the worst travelling goal difference at -44. The Cardiff Devils had a power play of 25% over week 17, and this means they stay top of the league year to date with 23.6%. Just behind them are the Giants on 23.4%, helped by converting almost 30% last week. The week's power play leaders were the Manchester Storm, who are 4th year to date and put away 2 from 5 chances against the Flyers on Sunday. The Steelers still have the worst PP unit in the league at 14.9%, but did at least gain some success last week, scoring twice on the power play. Not content with the best power play in the league, the Devils killed all 14 penalties against them last week, meaning they also have the best PK at 86.2%. The Clan slipped to 2nd on the year after they only managed to kill 60% in week 17, while the Storm had a 100% kill, despite being the 2nd worst in the league for the season. No goals for Ryan Hayes last week has seen his lead at the top of goal scorers cut to just 3 after Guillaume Doucet grabbed a couple and moved 2nd. Andrew Hotham's 5 assists in the week have put him ahead of Joey Martin for the year, while Curtis Lineweber, who matched Hotham's tally, has finally broke the Devils' stronghold on the top 3. Hayes didn't score, but he did grab a couple of assists, putting him on 47 total points for the year and back alone at the top, as Martin was only able to add 1 assist. Behind those we have a 3-way tie between Lineweber, Hotham and Lou Dickinson, who all have 42 points. Nothing major to show to the penalty leaders, though Valabic is slowly eating into Hendricks' lead, but just below the top 10 is Devin Didiomet, having played just 10 games. Chris Holt still leads the league for save percentage, though he has dropped a couple of minute points, while Bounds' solid week means he is only just behind. Tyler Plant has now departed the Steelers, but is several places higher than Marek Pinch, who just keeps Vlastimil Lakasil out of the top 10. Mika Wiegman has moved ahead of Holt for goals against average by virtue of conceding fewer goals, while Stephen Murphy has gone 3rd above the aforementioned Plant. Week 18 brings us a whole host of fixtures starting already on Tuesday when the Giants host the Clan and the Blaze welcome the Panthers. The Giants are in action again on Wednesday against the Stars, while the Devils play the Storm. New Year's Eve brings us 3 fixtures with earlier face-off times than normal, so don't get caught out. New Year's Day has just 1 game as Sheffield travel to Manchester, again with an earlier face-off. It's then a full programme on Saturday, including the Devils against the Stars in a battle of the conference leaders, and Brarehead making the relatively short trip to Fife. We're still not done as there's 4 more games on Sunday, finishing off with what's sure to be a friendly game between the Stars and Flyers. That's everything for week 17, thanks very much for watching, I hope you all have a happy new year, and if you enjoyed this review please like and share, and subscribe to see more Elite League reviews in the future. Bye for now.